Hey everyone, I'm Holly and I am making this video for anyone out there who suffers with EMF sensitivity or electro hypersensitivity. I know how difficult and scary and overwhelming it is to experience, and so I wanted to share my story in the hope that it really helps anyone out there that's going through this. I know when I was going through it, I felt really alone and afraid, and there wasn't that much information out there in the world about what was this and what to do about it. There wasn't much support available or understanding. Most of my friends and family had no idea what it was or what I was going through. And that was one of the things that I found hardest. So I hope by putting this video out there, even though I find it hard speaking to camera and sharing this, so I'm going to do my best because I think it's worth it for you guys out there who deserve not to feel alone during this. And I'm going to share my story of what I went through when I was hypersensitive to electromagnetic frequencies and the steps that I took to get better. And it took time. It took about 2 years altogether for me to fully heal. Obviously I improved during those 2 years. So it takes patience and gentleness and kindness to ourselves, and to really surround ourselves with those who love and support us through our healing journeys. I highly recommend. So, where shall I begin? Right, first of all I'll explain for anyone watching this who doesn't know what EMF sensitivity is. Basically it's a hypersensitivity to electromagnetic frequencies from any electronic devices or wireless devices like Wi-Fi or mobile phones. Even household appliances like a washing machine produce electromagnetic radiation, and light bulbs do as well. So literally everywhere in society there is electromagnetic frequencies and radiation being given off by all that we use in our day-to-day modern lives. And some people have become hypersensitive to this radiation and it makes them really sick and unwell. So the symptoms that I experienced were nausea, and I'd get a pain in my head. It wasn't like, I would get headaches as well, but it was more like a pain than an ache. I would feel really foggy headed. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't even read a book. I remember when I was at my worst, because my brain felt so sore and foggy. It hurt to think, it hurt to concentrate. Even reading a book was really uncomfortable for me. I remember my eyes were really sensitive as well to light, so I preferred to be in darker rooms. I would get this tingling all over my skin. One of the biggest impacts it had on me was I felt extremely fatigued and exhausted and would need to sleep like loads of the time and rest in my bed a lot when I was at my worst. So yeah, it was pretty intense and scary. This is what I did to get better. And I'd just like to say that every individual's healing journey is completely unique to them, because we all live in different environments. Our bodies are all unique, our lifestyles are all unique, the people we're surrounded with, who we are as human beings, we're all unique, and there are many paths to healing. So this is just my personal story. Maybe there'll be elements of it that can help you, maybe some of it won't help you at all. But I'm sharing it just in case any of it does, and so you don't feel so alone in what you're going through. But the main advice I would share from what I experienced was to trust in your intuition. You know what's best for you, you know what you need. So really honour and trust that. Even if people around you don't trust in your intuition, Stay strong in it, because it will guide you to where you need to get to and what you need to do to recover. And be open to support as well, of course, guidance and wisdom from others who are wise and who you feel you trust. Okay, so let's get to what I did to recover. So first of all, I spent about 1 month with no electronics at all. No mobile phone, no computer, no television, no electronic lights. It was like going back in time. Like, it sounds kind of cool now, but at the time it was not cool. It was just really scary and isolating, I must admit. But it was worth it because it helped me to recover. So it was like going back into the olden times of using candles for light in the evenings and at night time, and I got my friends and family to write me letters instead of sending texts and emails. We would write to each other, which was a huge help. So I spent a month giving my body a proper rest and break from all electronic radiation as much as is possible. So at times when we needed to use our washing machine in our house, I would go for a walk to have space from it. It was more about proximity, because obviously I live in a house where there are other houses all around, where they're using electronic devices in their houses and Wi-Fi, but I found that was okay as long as it wasn't going on inside, like close to me, or inside the house that I was in. So it was giving a chance for my body to have a proper break and rest from it. And then after about a month, I started to reintroduce electronic devices back into my life, just bit by bit, in small amounts per day. Because one of the main things I also discovered with EMF sensitivity is the impact of it is cumulative throughout a day. So if I used my mobile phone a little bit, my laptop a little bit, my TV a little bit, it adds up. The amount of radiation, it's like it adds up throughout the day, and then by the end of the day I can feel really sick because it's built up over time. So I really recommend keeping an eye on that, really listening to your body and seeing how you're feeling and what your threshold or limit is for what you use in a day. Another thing I didn't know until I researched it is that all electronics give off electromagnetic radiation frequencies, some to a greater extent than others. So obviously the worst things are mobile phones, laptops, and Wi-Fi. But I also found devices that produce heat or movement, like a washing machine, a hairdryer. These are pretty bad too. So be aware of those, how much you use those appliances in your life as well, if your body needs a break from them. Okay, so yes, I began to reintroduce things. So I just use my mobile phone for a couple of minutes a day. I wouldn't ever watch more than 1 or 2 hours of television a day, and just really kept everything to a minimum as much as possible. Another thing I did is I adapted our home to reduce the amount of electromagnetic frequencies that I am surrounded by. So some of the main tips I would give to you if you are EMF sensitive: an Ethernet cable instead of using Wi-Fi for your phone or laptop really reduces the amount of radiation you're exposed to. So if you can disable your Wi-Fi and plug in instead an Ethernet cable into your laptop. Oh, I said phone as well, but you can't you can't plug an Ethernet cable into your phone. Ignore that bit. We'll cut that. So that really helps to stop using Wi-Fi in your home and use an Ethernet cable instead. What else did I do? Oh yes, I discovered if you put your mobile phone on flight mode, it stops signals being sent to and from it. So when you're not using your phone, if you don't always want, for the times when you don't want to turn it off, so you might want to use your camera on your phone or be reading something on your phone or writing a text. If you set it to flight mode, you can still do all those things without being exposed to as much radiation. So that's really useful, and I still use it now every day when I'm not using my phone. When it's not necessary for it to be sending receiving signals, I leave it on flight mode. So what else did I do? Oh yes, we invested in a landline phone with a cord, not a wireless headset. So it meant I could phone family and friends, and I could cope much better with talking on a landline than talking on a mobile phone or a handset that's wireless. And yes, also if you use a computer or a laptop, because in the past I used to put my laptop on my lap and use it, and the radiation I must have been getting from that must have been pretty extreme. So now what I do is I put my laptop on a table further away from me, and I plug in a wired keyboard and a wired mouse. It's just giving that bit of distance makes a really that distance makes a big difference in the amount of radiation your body is exposed to. So I did that as well. So those were the main practical changes I made. Okay, so this is what I did to heal. I focused on improving my health in all areas. My physical health, my emotional health, and my spiritual health. And the reason for this is I believe the core problem of why we become hypersensitive is because it's like our natural electromagnetic field our body produces has become weakened or diminished or shut down in some way, and we don't have that natural protection to protect us from man-made frequencies. So by focusing on healing all parts of ourselves, we can really strengthen that field, and I feel that is how I recovered and stopped being hypersensitive. Kind of like in sci-fi films when there's a spaceship that has its shields up and can bounce off laser attacks and weapons to protect them. And in the sci-fi films where they are shouting, "Oh no, the shields are down!" Or, yeah. Hopefully someone out there knows what I'm talking about. It's like that. I think it's like that. So what I did is there were three main people that I got support from, which really helped me. So first of all, I found an amazing health kinesiologist who was able to use muscle testing to discover what it was my body needed to heal. So that was amazing. She was also a nutritionist, and she helped me to improve my diet. I also saw a spiritual life coach because the emotional and spiritual aspect of my health was really key to my recovery. So improving my happiness, my well-being, my sense of purpose, knowing who I am, feeling free and loved, these were all really important to restoring my life force energy and being happy. And when we're happy, it's much easier for us to heal. And the third person I got some help and support from was an incredible numerologist. And I know this sounds strange, and it surprised me how much it helped me. It's quite incredible and mind-blowing, really. The numbers, the mathematics of the universe can help you heal. Why not? So yeah, an open mind on your healing journey is really key, I would say. But I saw this numerologist, she'd posted a really cool video on YouTube about how she had cured her chronic fatigue, and it really resonated with me. So I booked a session with her to find out my personal life code, my numbers and what they mean. And it just helped me to gain a deeper understanding of who I really am and the way I work and what makes me feel good, what energizes me. And then I was able to adapt my life to suit who I am and what works for me, because we're all individuals. There's not like one box that fits all, one size that fits all. So finding out who you are and creating the life that supports who you are is a huge step in healing, I found. Yeah, so those are the three key people I worked with, which improved my spiritual, emotional and physical well-being. I worked on a psychological level as well. It was so important to believe I could heal, to believe it was possible. And the parts of me that didn't believe it was possible, I was able to explore those and understand why and to heal those parts of me. Also, there was another part of me that didn't want to heal, that didn't want to feel better, because I found my illness in a way kept me safe or made me feel safe. It was a reason that I didn't have to work in an office anymore, and I hated working in an office, long hours in front of computers. It didn't make me happy, and not really, on a deeper level, it did not make me happy. And so me being ill was a way to escape that other life that I didn't want anymore. So once I realised that actually I can create a new life, I don't have to go back to my old life, I don't have to go back to working in an office. It is safe for me to heal and to create a new life that does make me happy. I don't need to use it as a form of protection anymore. That was also really, really key to my healing. So yes, I believe you can do it. I think trust in your intuition, have faith that you can heal. You can definitely heal. I believe in you 100%. I understand what you're going through. So yes, I am here for you. And I wish you all the best on your healing journey. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comments below, and I will answer as many as I can. And I will also post a transcription of this video. So for those who aren't well enough to be able to watch a YouTube video, perhaps you have a friend or a family member watching this for you, I will write up a transcription of what I've shared so that you can download it and print it out, because you can read it on paper instead of having to watch this whole video. So I hope that helps some people. So yeah, I will finish there, and yeah, I wish you all the best. That's all for now. So I will say goodbye.